Hi folks, thanks for tuning in. Steve from Steve Views Outdoors, and in this video we're going to be looking at putting up a group shelter using a long climbing rope and a large tarpaulin. And we're going to do that with a skyline between two trees high up off the ground. Slightly different technique than perhaps you would use if you were putting up a low shelter. So the first job is to get the rope up and over a branch like this one here in this tree. We're going to get the end of the rope over there and we're going to tie it off, and then we're going to move to the other end and do some tensioning. So I take the rope and I'll kind of coil up a few loose coils like this, and the plan is to try and get it over the crook in the tree there. Go high through and over like that, and with a bit of luck should be able to grab hold of the end. There we go, and pull it down like that. And then I'm going to tie off the bottom here a timber hitch. So I'm going to use the rope here and pass it round the tree, pull a bit of slack through, and then tie a timber hitch here on this end of the rope like that. Pull the slack out and anchor it to the tree there. You can do, if you have a shorter rope, you could do that quite high up on the tree to save wastage. But this rope, it's about 40 meters long, so we're pretty happy that we've got enough for this job. We're taking this large tarpaulin. Tarpaulin's 5 meter square double D hammocks tarpaulin, so it's quite a beast. But I find the ridge along the top here, find all those sewn loops. Okay, and I'm going to thread my climbing rope through all these loops. So there's the end of my rope. There's the first loop. I'm going to pass him through there. Okay, and I'm going to feed him along all the way along the ridge and out the other end. Like so. I'll put all the slack through and make a nice neat coil on the floor. Okay, so that's the skyline there, that's the tarpaulin hanging from it, and now we're going to go and look at the other end and how we fix that. Okay, so I'm going to pull these coils up, similar to before when I got the other end there. I make some big coils, big loose coils. We'll challenge this one to get over the branch, but we'll see how we get on. And then we'll pull it down and make it nice and tight. Happy with that. Okay, so at this end, you can see up there, hopefully, you can see the rope going up over that branch. And I'll twizzle you around. You can see the tarpaulin there, attached to the skyline, which is attached to that far tree. Let's have a look how we tension that rope. Because it's so far up in the sky, we don't really need to worry about it being really tight. It just needs to be taut, and we can do the tightening part of it down here. Okay, so we can haul this up now, take all the slack out, as much slack as we can out of it. Okay. Now we could take it off to another tree and do that whole cranking and tensioning system, or we could just wrap it around this tree here and tie a couple of half hitches in it. I think what we'll do is we'll pull it to that other tree and we'll put that pulley system which you're all familiar with. Okay, so I'm going to choose about 1 meter away from this anchor point here and we'll tie myself a fixed loop in my rope. I'm going to use either a overhand loop or a figure 8 loop or even an alpine butterfly to create a loop. I like the alpine butterfly, so that's what we're going to do. Tie the alpine butterfly, done it before in other videos, but basically lay the rope across our palm, go across once, go across twice, giving like basically 3 lines across your palm. The first one we can discard, we don't want that one. The second one we pull to the size of loop that we're looking for. In this case we want a massive loop. And we'll pass that down sort of from the fingertips down the palm. So we can pass that loop down from fingertips underneath to palm. So through there and out the other side like that. And then going opposite directions gives us a fixed loop. So we're going to pass that rope around this third tree now, pull it back. Now because there's so much of it, rather than put the whole thing through the fixed loop, I'm just going to put a bite through the fixed loop. So bite a rope through there and then reposition myself and use that bite to pull the line as tight as I can. And with that bite I'll then go around, put it over the top to create a triangle, which we've mentioned before in other videos I'm sure. This comes up through the triangle, the bite, and then into the tree, locking the rope thing off. And then we do the same thing again, up through there and locking that off. And then you've got your tensioned end here. So what we've got so far is the knot which is all tied off on this third tree, tensioning the rope there. Rope goes up and over that branch there, and then it goes across to the other tree at the far side of the site with tarpaulin hanging in the middle like a big curtain at the moment. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull out the tarpaulin across the line so it hangs in the correct location, so we know exactly where that tarpaulin is going to be, and we're going to spread the corners out and tie them off as well. Another tip that I was shown a long time ago now is where the loop kind of ends, if you wish, final loop on the tarpaulin here. If you add a length of paracord to that, you can then use that to kind of pull out the ridge line on the main tarp. So the next job for this is to put a piece of paracord onto this loop here, and we're going to do the same on all 4 corners, and then we'll pull those paracords out into various different tie-off locations to give us the roof we're looking for. We're going to try and do it as high as we can, sort of overhead height, giving us loads of room underneath our tarp. Okay, so what we've been doing just now is putting on paracord onto the 4 corners of the tarpaulin, and I'm going to walk you around and show you what I've done and how you can tension that up. So let's just move you a little bit. So here on this corner of the tarpaulin I've tied a bowline through the loop here, and then we've taken it off over to one of these trees here. And this tree over here, I've put a taut line hitch there so we can get some adjustment. So I'll show you how that works. The taut line hitch, which you'll see in one of my other videos, is an adjustable hitch, and you can just slide that down until it's nice and taut, and you can see how much of a difference that's made to the tarpaulin now. By just pulling that corner tight, there's a little bit of sag in the ridge of the tarpaulin. You could have got away with that, like I said before, with the little curtain type pullers. But most of the corners are tight now, but I'm just going to leave the camera as it is here. So I'm going to go around the tarp right now, and I'm going to pull the corners tight and see if we can get the tarpaulin roof a little bit tighter. So there you go, folks, that's your what I call my skyline tarp. It's right up high. You could even have a small fire under there if you wanted to. You could put a storm kettle here to make brews, but you certainly get most of your group under there in poorer weather. So I hope that was useful to you. If it was, and you like what you're seeing on the channel, I'd really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It just helps us to build momentum, and also gets a few more viewers on there. And we'll keep on putting the footage up, and we'll keep on adding different videos, some of these skills share type videos, practical skills stuff, and also some of the adventure videos as well that we're doing with SGO. Thanks for watching, folks.